Hi dear students, in this video we are going to talk about two atomic models, Thomson model of atom and Rutherford model of atom. In the previous classes we have discussed about discovery of subatomic particles, that is protons, electrons and neutrons. So along with that we have discussed about some different types, other type of rays, in that about X-rays, alpha rays, beta rays and gamma rays also we have discussed. In this video let us continue our discussion with the atomic models. This is from the chapter Structure of Atom. Atomic models. So first atomic model, Thomson model of atom. Thomson model of atom. Students, at the time of Thomson model of atom, there is no discovery of neutron, right? 1886 proton discovery, 1897 electron discovery, proton discovery in the 1886, electron discovery is in the 1897 year, right? Then Thomson model came in the year 1898, Thomson model, 1911 Rutherford model, 1932 the neutron has been discovered by James Chadwick, right? So during the Thomson model of atom there is no neutron discovered, right? Thomson considered that atom as a positive sphere. Thomson considered atom as a positive sphere. Positive sphere, and electrons are uniformly distributed throughout the mass. Electrons are uniformly distributed throughout the mass. Okay, Thomson considered atom as a spherical, that is spherical in shape, which has a positive charge. Like in the watermelon, red color fibrous mass, that is like a positive charge, that is protons, and electrons are like a seeds in the watermelon, uniformly distributed throughout the mass. Here he told that net positive charge is equal to net negative charge. He is able to explain about the electroneutrality of the atom. Why atom is neutral even though it will contain positively charged protons and negatively charged electrons? Because net positive charge is equal to net negative charge. Important feature of this model is able to explain electroneutrality of atom. Failure is a research student, his assistant only, Ernest Rutherford, by using his famous alpha ray scattering experiment. This is disproved. He disproved that Thomson model. Ernest Rutherford, from his alpha ray scattering experiment, he disproved the Thomson model. Disproved by Rutherford's alpha ray scattering experiment. Alpha ray scattering experiment. Let us discuss about the alpha ray scattering experiment now. Alpha ray scattering experiment. Alpha ray scattering experiment. Ernest Rutherford, he allowed some alpha rays to incident on the gold foil Ernest Rutherford, he allowed some alpha rays to incident on the gold foil. General property of alpha rays is they can penetrate through the thin sheets of the metal. So he took some lead block, PB block, and some bore hole is drilled in the block. Bore hole is drilled in the block from this side, and he placed a radioactive substance which can emit only alpha particles. Okay, radioactive substance which can emit only alpha particles, and this is allowed to pass through the gold foil. He allowed that stream of alpha particles to incident. It is a stream of alpha particles. This is a lead plate. It is allowed to incident on the gold foil, which is surrounded by a zinc sulfide screen, which is a fluorescent material. So when the alpha particle strikes this zinc sulfide screen, they will make scintillations. Tiny, that little spark we can observe when it will strikes that metal zinc sulfide screen, right? This is a zinc sulfide screen which is a fluorescent material. This is a gold foil. So when he has done this experiment, really he was surprised, because earlier Thomson told that atom, that entire mass is spread throughout the sphere. But when he has done this alpha ray scattering experiment, most of the alpha particles passed through the gold foil without any deflections. Straight away they passed through the gold foil without any deflection. So that means the large part of the atom is empty, large space is empty. Really he is surprised with that. Few particles, some particles are deflected with the slight angles, and very few particles, 1 out of each 20,000 particles are deflected with almost 180-degree angle. Same direction they are coming. With almost 180-degree angle, they are rebound back, right? So if you consider this as a gold atoms, these are the gold atoms, right? And most of the alpha particles are passed through the gold foil without a deflection. Without a deviation, they are going straight, right? So that indicates, the conclusion from that is, most part of the atom is empty, and some particles are deflected with the slight angles. If it is a center, some of the particles are deflected with the slight angles. Very few particles, they are almost bounced back with the 180-degree angle. Very few particles which are coming in the line of the center, they are bounced back, right? Let us see what are the observations and the conclusion from the alpha ray scattering experiment clearly, right? Observations, one side we will write observations, other side conclusions. First observation is, most of the alpha particles are passed through gold foil without any deflections. The conclusion from this is large space in atom is empty. Large space in the atom is empty. Second observation is some particles are deflected with the slight angles. Some particles are deflected with the slight angles. Slight angles. Conclusion from this is there is a positive charge concentrated in small region. There is a positive charge concentrated in the small region, because students, we know alpha particles is having positive charge. So we know like charges will repel. Some particles are deflected with the slight angles, means there is a positive charge concentrated in a very small region. That is the reason why some of the particles are deflected with the slight angles. If the Thomson model is correct, what should happen? Most of the particles should deflect or bounce back. But here it is happened, some particles are deflected with the slight angles. The conclusion is there is a positive charge that is concentrated in the small region, right? A very few particles are bounced back almost with a 180 degree angle. That is 1 out of each 20,000. 1 out of each 20,000. Only 1 out of each 20,000 particles are bounced back almost with the 180 degree angle. Rebound back. So from this, what is the conclusion he made is entire mass of the atom is concentrated within the small region called as nucleus. So nucleus has been discovered by Rutherford from his alpha ray scattering experiment. Based on his alpha ray scattering experiment, Rutherford has given his atomic model. Let us discuss that Rutherford atomic model now. Rutherford model of atom. Rutherford's model of atom. Based on his alpha ray scattering experiment, Rutherford has given his atomic model. First one, he talked about the nucleus. There is a dense positive center is present in every atom, which is called as nucleus. Nucleons, students, nucleons, that is neutrons plus protons is called as a nucleons. But the neutrons has been discovered later, but we should know that nucleons is the neutrons and protons combinedly called as a nucleons. Extra nuclear part. Electrons are revolving around the nucleus in circular orbits. Electrons are revolving around the nucleus in circular orbits, like planets around the sun. planets around the sun. So this model is also known as planetary model of atom, and nucleus has been discovered in this model, so it is also known as nuclear model of atom. And students, here the radius of atom is order of 10 power minus 10 meters. The radius of nucleus is 10 power minus 15 meters. So comparison, when we compare the radius of atom with the radius of nucleus is very small. Like if the nucleus is like a cricket ball, then atom is like a cricket ground. Like that much difference is there in between these two, right? Number of alpha particles deflected is directly proportional to 1 by sine power 4 theta by 2, right? And number of alpha particles deflected is proportional to z square, atomic number z square h theta, right? Students, here one more relation, that is r is equal to radius of an element is equal to r naught into a power 1 by 3, where capital R is a radius of nucleus of an atom, R naught is radius of hydrogen nucleus. Generally this value will take it as 1.2 into 10 power minus 15, so meters here. 10 power minus 15 meters is equal to 1 Fermi, it is, right, which is used for the very smaller distances. A is the mass number of that element, that element for which we want to calculate the radius of nucleus of that atom. That element's mass number is A, right? Let us discuss about the drawbacks of Rutherford model. Drawbacks of Rutherford model. First thing is stability of atom. At the time, according to Maxwell's electromagnetic theory, when a charged particle accelerates, it will radiate energy continuously. Like electron, it is a charged particle. When it is revolving around the nucleus, when a charged particle is accelerated, it will lose the energy, it will radiate some energy, and then finally it should take a spiral path. The electron should take a spiral path. It will collapse the nucleus. According to Maxwell's electromagnetic theory. And the time taken for the electron to fall in the nucleus also he has calculated, which is lesser than the 10 power minus 8 seconds, but which actually not happening. So about the stability of atom, the Rutherford model does not explain anything, because the Maxwell's electromagnetic theory is contradicting this concept which has been given by Rutherford, right? According to Maxwell's electromagnetic theory, when a charged particle accelerates, it will radiate energy. In case of electron, it should lose energy continuously, and take a spiral path, finally it will collapse the nucleus. But actually this is not happening. And one more thing, when electron is radiating energy continuously, the spectrum obtained from the element should be a continuous spectrum like the rainbow. But here we are getting the line spectrum of elements. For all the elements, generally you will get a line spectrum, right? So Maxwell's electromagnetic theory is contradicting this is Rutherford model of atom, right? Because it is unable to explain about the stability of atom, right? Second point is, does not explain electron distribution. Students, he told that electrons are revolving around the nucleus in the circular orbits. But how the electrons are distributed in the orbits? That means first orbit contains how many electrons, second orbit contains how many electrons. That is not clearly explained by the Rutherford. Okay, does not explain the electronic distribution in orbits around the nucleus is not explained. Okay, so then there is a problem with this model. Either this Rutherford model is disproved or it is wrong, or the electromagnetic theory which has been given by James Maxwell, which is maybe inadequate. So then scientists has tried to give appropriate model. From that scientist, the first successful one after the Rutherford, so that is Niels Bohr. In the next class, let us continue our discussion with the developments leading to the Bohr's model of atom. Thanks for watching.